so important to keep track or to keep sight on the key principles of CARA. And I don't remember now who it was that said it, but before CARA, public policy in elementary, secondary education changed every time governor changed.
Yeah,
and at that particular time, governors couldn't succeed themselves. So whatever it was we were doing changed every 4 years.
Oh yeah.
And you know, the comment that I'm remembering, but I don't remember who said it, is that there are a lot of things that will work if you give them time to work. And I think I think that has been the strength of CARA, is we have given those principles time to work. And as we've assessed along the way, and we've seen the places that we haven't been moving as we wanted, we've tweaked the assessment, we've tweaked the metrics, but the principle has stayed the same.
That's exactly right, Doug. And against a lot of other opinion, we have kept those basic principles. I was part of a group that did the higher education reform of 1985, which is basically an input sort of thing where we lowered class sizes and did things that would help what the inputs to education are, thinking that we would get better results. When we came to CARA, we said we're going to give the schools more discretion through councils and local districts more discretion, but we're going to measure the results. And we still have adhered to that. We're still looking at what we produce on the other side. It will be a continual evolution, but it's a whole lot like what you talk about when you talk about the essential Eastern. Certainly Eastern is changing and evolving all the time. We've got new programs that are designed to meet new needs out there. We have our transition program for math out in the schools. It's designed to meet our remediation sorts of problems. You know, we have a biofuels initiative, we have a new performing arts center, but the student-friendly atmosphere, the student success atmosphere, the helping atmosphere that's the essential Eastern is still here. Yeah. And I think that's a good example.
We've got to preserve, and I think we are preserving, in some places resurrecting, what have traditionally been the core values of this place. But you're exactly right, and you started to get, you've already jumped to where I was going to go here next. And that is some things that are a couple of really exciting things. Of course, you know, the good part of your job is overseeing the finances and the financial planning of Eastern Kentucky University, and specifically working to link our resources to what it is that we're trying to accomplish in the areas of student success, regional stewardship, and our quality enhancement program of making our students critical, creative thinkers who can communicate. But beyond that, you've had an opportunity here for the last little bit, and I'll start with the second one you mentioned. And this one ties both your legislative work and your Eastern work together. This Performing Arts Center that we have under construction here, that will be completed by this time next year, is going to be a wonderful asset, not only for Eastern Kentucky University, not only for Madison County, but for all of Kentucky in many respects. Talk about that facility a little, Harry, and particularly the pretty unusual management governance model that has been put in place for it.
Which is a very unique model. I guess it came out of the fact that the county had a pot of money, about $4 million, for a technology center here in this community that was allocated by a General Assembly. the university had $5 million in funds that it was going to use to renovate another building. And then we had state funds that we were able to appropriate one year in the budget, and we wrote language in there that combined all of those funds into a two-phase project. The first phase was to build our Business and Technology Center. And the county at that point gave up its $4 million for us essentially to build an Eastern building, our new Business and Technology Center and Business Incubator, which is located on our South Campus over here on the same side we're at right now, with the understanding that they would be a partner in the Phase 2, the Performing Arts Center. And then we later appropriated, I think it was 33 and something, almost close to 35 million more to do this wonderful Performing Arts Center project, which will consist of the second largest seat capacity for a performing arts center in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Will be state-of-the-art, will be the most up-to-date state-of-the-art facility or performing arts center in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And so it is a partnership between state funding, the university, which will provide the maintenance and operation for the building, and local governments, particularly Madison County, which contributed that first $4 million. And there is a governing board which works with the administration here at EKU. You have 7 appointments on that, or 6 appointments on the board, and our 3 local governments, Madison County, Berea, and the city of Richmond, have 6 appointments between them, or 7 between them. So it's truly a cooperative venture. It has to be done with goodwill because administrators at the university have to administer the staff and the center itself, and the board has to oversee, with all the community involvement, has to oversee that. And presently, as we look to a September 2011 opening, I had a meeting this morning where we were interviewing candidates, and we had board members from the community, Eastern people, our director of advancement. We were interviewing candidates for the fundraising advancement positions. So it's truly a cooperative venture. And it's one, as I said, that will take a lot of goodwill on both sides to make work. But I think we can make it work.
I think we've got the people who are involved in it. I think are the right ones to make that work in terms of the goodwill that you're talking about. And of course, if we get that if we get that operational mode into the culture, both on this campus and within the community, then it'll be perpetuating. But I want to go back to something right at the start of that. And you talk about goodwill. As you say, this was envisioned as a multi-part project, multi-phase project from the beginning. But the part that the county was most interested in winds up being in Phase 2. So I always thought it was a wonderful gesture of goodwill and statesmanship, if you will, when Kent Clark and the fiscal court agreed, we'll let our money be used in Phase 1, which is a classroom building for Eastern Kentucky University, with the understanding that what we're really interested in, the university is committed to seeing addressed in Phase 2. That was a fairly significant act of goodwill on our host county's part right there, Harry.
Well, I don't think you'll find any better example of cooperation between the university and the local county government than we have here. And I think that's because of your leadership and the leadership of Judge Clark. And he did. That's an amazing thing for a county to give up $4 million toward a phase in which they did not have a great deal of interest, to wait until funding was realized at the state level and a board was set up in which they would be involved, in which we promised them that they would be involved for a community performing arts center. And it's not only is it a unique example of a project or a governance of a project, but it's a very unique example of trust between a higher ed institution and a local government.
Now, and of course, the oversight, from the university standpoint, the oversight of this facility, the Performing Arts Center, is vested in your office, as is the administrative oversight for our Center for Renewable and Alternative Fuels Technologies, CRAFT. And just like we owe a debt of gratitude to Kent Clark and Madison County for where we are with the Performing Arts facility, we owe a lot to the confidence that Congressman Ben Chandler has put in this institution for CRAFT, because through appropriations that he has caused to come our way through the Defense Logistics Agency, we've been able to mount a significant research effort in biofuels that I don't want to get away from some things that I want you to share here, that really has a lot of potential for Kentucky.
Well, it has tremendous potential, and I think the university has stepped up to the plate, recognized much of the responsibility, not only through this, but through our Siemens project, where we have really made the campus go green, and we're saving lots of money on our utility bills and taking a lot of carbon out of the air, which you might want to talk a little bit about. But we took a further step with looking at alternative fuels, which is so important to national security, which follows on the legislative initiatives in energy that Representative Rocky Atkins introduced, which seeks and does make Kentucky a leader in energy. And we are stepping up to the plate with respect to that, looking at alternative fuels in our CRAFT Center with Dr. Bruce Pratt, who is doing an outstanding job there. You have shown your commitment by actually building a building for that CRAFT Center, which we dedicated just a few weeks ago. And we have received most of our money, although we've had support from state government, from the Governor's Agriculture Council, and from the Appalachian Regional Commission for money that he controlled, and we have his support. But the most significant money that we have received, the majority of our money, has come from federal earmarks from Congressman Ben Chandler, because he also realizes the importance to our national security and the future of Kentucky that we be an energy leader of this biofuels project. And we're growing we're harvesting biofuels, or intend to, from algae. We have 10 researchers already, where our students are very much involved in this. So it's going to be a very good experience for our faculty and our students, and it's going to benefit this state and this country. And it won't be just limited to that project, to the biofuels from algae. We're looking at expanding that to look at mitigating carbon from coal-fired power plants, which is so important to Kentucky and so important to keeping the cost of our electricity down.